May 24th, 2026, Cotonou, Benin. New president, new ceremony, standoff. Then the MC reads the delegation list. Niger's prime minister, Mali's foreign minister, Burkina Faso's foreign minister. 3 countries that had been politically cold-shouldering Benin for years walked into that hall, and the crowd lost it. So what just happened? Why did 3 Sahel military governments, who formerly broke from the regional bloc Benin belongs to, show up at this inauguration? What did Benin's new president, Romuald Wadagni, offer them that nobody else could? Now, stick around, because what looks like a simple ceremony is the first move in something much bigger. And to understand Cotonou, you need to go back 3 years. Now, July 2023, Niger, a military takeover. General Tiani removes the elected president and takes power. ECOWAS, the regional bloc most West African countries belong to, responds hard. Sanctions, border closures, threat of military force. But here is the thing, Mali had already had its military takeover. Burkina Faso had already had its military takeover too. Now, we all know in January 2025, Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, they formed AES. Now, think about what that means for Benin. Benin is a tiny coastal sitting right next to Niger and Burkina Faso on the northern border, and its biggest economic asset is the port of Cotonou. And Cotonou is the main entry point for goods heading into those landlocked Sahel countries. So when the areas broke away and borders froze, Benin didn't just simply lose neighbors, it lost customers. Transit revenue dried up, and jihadist groups started moving south into Benin's northern provinces. Now, there is a proverb I always use: when elephants fight, the grass suffers. Benin was the grass. And the man running Benin at that time, President Patrice Talon, made things even worse. Relations between Talon and Niger's General Tiani were particularly hostile. The ADF magazine documented border incidents, sharp rhetoric upon tension. So Benin was seen as a Western back pressure point against the Sahel bloc. Then in December 2025, just months before the elections, there was an attempted military takeover in Benin. Who helped Benin survive it? ECOWAS, air support regional troops. So here is the picture: Benin locked into ECOWAS, receiving Western security backing, Cold War with its northern neighbors, and watching jihadis quietly fill the silence between them. That was the inheritance waiting for whoever won the 2026 elections. And the man who won was not what anyone expected. You see, Romuald Wadagni is not a firebrand, he's not a soldier. He was Benin's finance minister, a kind of numbers guy, if you want to put it that way, the investment architect. And that background really matters in this story, because he looked at the crisis the way an economist looks at a bad deal. Now, according to African media, he came to the 2026 race with one core calculation: Benin cannot afford to keep fighting its neighbors. Now, 2 things drove him: security and money, in that order. Now, security. Chatham House flagged in December 2025 that the Sahel crisis is escalating towards the coast, and Benin is directly in the path. You cannot fight that alone. You need your neighbors talking to you. Now, second, on money. Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso have no coastline. They import fuel, food, machinery through Cotonou. When borders froze, both sides lost. Journal du Niger reported that Wadagni understood this clearly. Benin's prosperity and its northern security both passed through direct, constant dialogue with the AES. So he started making phone calls long before his inauguration day. Back in July 2025, he was not yet president, he was just a simple candidate. He invited AES delegations to Benin's independence anniversary celebrations. You know what the AES did? The AES rejected it, but he still kept on pushing. At this stage, remember, he was just a simple presidential candidate. He was not yet a president. For months, he kept reaching out. He stopped calling them rivals and started calling them brotherly countries. Financial Afrique described it as intense, sustained, personal diplomatic work behind the scenes. And something shifted. You see, Niger's prime minister said, and I want you to hear this, he said his visit to Cotonou was explicitly approved by all AES leaders who were seduced by gestures of friendship and brotherhood Wadagni had expressed before the inauguration. You see, Niger's prime minister gave AES point of view on the new president, and they said explicitly that it is because of the work that he did before becoming president. So, 3 military governments, 3 leaders who answer to nobody in ECOWAS all said yes because one man changed his language. May 24th, Palais de Congrès, Cotonou. The MC announces the AES delegations. Niger's prime minister, Mali's foreign minister, Burkina Faso's foreign minister. The crowd, Beninese people, ECOWAS citizens, erupts loud, sustained, warm. Now think about that for a second. These aren't Malians or Burkina-based cheering. These are Beninese people, citizens of a country inside the bloc that has been in open conflict with the AES, applauding those delegations like they have been waiting for this moment. And this is not the first time. You remember during the Ghanaian president's inauguration, when Ibrahim Traoré was called, the whole stadium stood up, cheered and clapped. Is Ghana in ECOWAS? Yes. Is Benin in ECOWAS? Yes. So what does that really tell you about West African politics or African politics as a whole? It tells you simply that the Africans themselves, they want this new revolution of freedom, this idea of dignity, sovereignty, but their leaders are still pulling them away. CSIS noted this year that AES leaders are popular at home and across Africa because of the decolonial anti-French sovereignty first message. And that popularity doesn't stop in Sahel borders. It moves. Zimbabwe feels it. South Africa feels it. Ghana feels it. Cameroon feels it. Nigeria feels it. And most ECOWAS presidents know this. They won't just say it aloud. Wadagni was the first one to act on it. So he stepped to the podium and said, in a sub-region facing terror peril, we are condemned to work together. He reiterated Benin's readiness to act in concert with its neighboring countries to overcome this scourge. You see, there is one part in the speech that I'm really concerned about. He said, we are condemned to work together. You see, that's not a speech line, that's a doctrine. So what's really moving here? There are 3 things happening at once, and you need all 3 to understand why this matters beyond the ceremony. The first is security. ADF magazine published analysis earlier this year showing ECOWAS AES fluid directly weakens regional intelligence sharing, and joint operations and jihadist groups moves right into those gaps. JNIM has been creeping into Benin's northern provinces for 2 years. Wadagni's message to AES is simple. If we keep fighting each other, the jihadists win. Let's agree on who the real enemy is. And the second is on trade. The port of Cotonou's biggest customers are landlocked. When relations froze, trucks stopped, revenue dropped, businesses on both sides felt it. So reopening that corridor benefits everyone in the room. Journal du Niger put it plainly. Benin's prosperity and security are inseparable from the dialogue with the AES. Now that's an economic calculation wearing diplomatic clothes. And the third thing, the one most analysts skip, is the people. The streets across West Africa is emotionally with the AES, not just in the Sahel, in Benin. Some people even say that if Ibrahim Traoré organizes elections in Benin, he's going to win. If he organized elections in Nigeria as president, he is going to win. Which country is Ibrahim Traoré not going to win a presidential election in Africa? He actually represents what the Africans want. And where is Ibrahim Traoré found? In the AES. You see, Pan-African youth movements, social media spaces, they see these military leaders as symbols of something. Dignity, resistance, standing up to old systems that haven't delivered. Most presidents in coastal countries in West Africa, they know this. Most won't acknowledge it publicly. Wadagni did, and the crowd in Cotonou confirmed it. Now, here is where West Africa actually stands. ECOWAS is in real identity crisis. 3 members walked out. The remaining coastal states are watching Benin carefully because Wadagni just demonstrated a different model. Not all in with ECOWAS against AES, not switching sides. Something new. ECDPM calls it the rise of bridge states. That is, countries that maintain their ECOWAS membership and Western partnerships while quietly keeping channels open with the AES. Benin under Wadagni is the first clear example. Joudal du Niger called the moment a strategic thaw, a new era if you want to call it that way. Is Wadagni AES? No, he hasn't left ECOWAS. He hasn't endorsed the military takeovers. But he did something more significant than that. He treated them as partners instead of problems. And they responded. Now, I want you to watch these 3 things as the story develops. The borders. If trucks start moving again between Benin, Niger and Burkina Faso, that is not diplomacy anymore. That's economics confirming the shift. Another thing you should look at is ECOWAS. Every time a coastal member normalizes individually with AES, the bloc loses leverage. Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire are watching, and some will follow Benin's lead quietly. And the third thing, France. Africa sustainability matters. Reported that Benin is already turning the page on its French relationship. If Wadagni distances Benin from the French security umbrella, the entire regional equation shifts. Now, here is what stays with me about this story. No army moved, no treaty was signed, no new alliance was announced. Wadagni just talked. He spent months sending signals, changing his language, showing respect, and 3 military governments who had been stonewalling the entire coastal bloc got on a plane to Cotonou. The Sahel is not going back to 2019. The AES is consolidating. The question to the rest of West Africa is not how to reverse it. The question is how to work with what's real without losing your institutions or your values in the process. Wadagni answered that question first. You see, the bridge builder always ends up with more leverage than anyone expected. I'm Louis. You're watching Africa Today, and this is the Strategic Lens. I'll see you in my next video. If you haven't liked or subscribed on this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Just hit the like button. See you in my next video. Bye.